Namaste and welcome to New India Junction. I'm Nivedita Tiwari. India has started what is the world's largest vaccination drive against COVID. The scale is humongous. We are going to be vaccinating almost 300 million citizens. This is unprecedented and historic. The world has also noticed India's efforts to contain the pandemic and to break the chain. We have had relatively low COVID numbers. Sometimes personal experiences help us know the details which we otherwise miss in the news cycle. So, to talk to us today, we have Manasa Manjunath. Manasa is based out of Germany, but she visited India and she wrote a detailed thread on Twitter about her experience on how India handled COVID. Manasa, welcome to New India Junction.
Hi, Nivedita. Thank you for having me.
I'm sorry I had to disturb you on a weekend winter morning. So I understand that you grew up in Bangalore, but if you could tell the viewers a bit about yourself, your background, and what it is that you do in Germany.
Yeah, of course. So I'm a through and through Bangalorean. I've grown up there. I did my schooling there. I even did my bachelor's there. I moved to Germany in 2011.
You wrote a detailed thread on Twitter on your experience, COVID experience in India. We are going to divide it into two parts for easy understanding. So please tell us what happened at the international arrivals, what were the protocols that were followed, and what happened subsequently. And how would you compare that with Germany?
Yes, of course. So I'd like to start by saying that so it doesn't just start at arrival. So flying into India as an international passenger, the procedures begin before you board the flight. So India requires that you fill out a self-declaration form online, where you fill out your address where you will be staying, why you're sitting in India, all the other details like your passport number, all the private details that you have. And this is checked at the airport, from the airport that you're departing at. And India also requires that you have the Arogya Setu app installed in your mobile by the time you land in India. Additionally, what Karnataka government or Bangalore, in Bangalore airport, what is required is you need two more apps. One is the Quarantine Watch app, and the other is Apamitra app. So they require these two apps to be installed as well. And these are checked as well in the airport before departure to make sure that you have all the requirements that the Indian government needs you to have. So that is first, even before you depart from the airport, right? And then I think you can also reduce your quarantine with a COVID negative certificate. Okay. So what I did is I did take a COVID test to be sure that I was negative. So I decided 2 days in advance because they need the test to be 96 hours. 72 hours, I think. I'm not too sure if it's 72 or 96 anymore. But they require that it's not older than 72 or 96 hours by the time you land in the country. Right. So that is what I did. I took the test 2 days before I flew out. So I got the results just the day before I flew out. And all this was checked at the airport. And then in Germany, at least, at the check-in, this is where all the checking happens. So they do check individually for the self-declaration form. They do check your cell phone if you have installed the different apps. And your details are entered in their system as well. So they enter your address, they enter a phone number and an email address at which they can contact you once you do fly into India. In the German airport as well, itself, there were no restrictions or protocols in place compared to when you would usually fly out. So I flew out from Frankfurt. And Frankfurt Airport is one of Germany's largest airports, and it's also the hub for Lufthansa itself. Right. And all their connecting flights as well, they connect here in Frankfurt. So it's a very, very big airport. Yeah. What threw me off first is the fact that they have hand sanitizing stations throughout the airport, but they were not as many as I imagined there would be. That was the first thing that I found a little weird because, I mean, we were dealing with a pandemic, and at that time, Germany had just started noticing an increase in the number of cases in Germany as well. So that was the first thing that I noticed. Then, like I said, apart from that, apart from the hand sanitizing stations that were there in the airport, and of course, passengers were wearing masks in the airport itself, there weren't a lot of checks or protocols in place specifically for COVID. one thing that I have mentioned in my thread is that I did notice that there was a ticket counter in the airport itself, and people there weren't wearing any masks. So these were airport officials. So all this was in Frankfurt, and then now I'll move to, before landing in India, I flew through Dubai. So when I landed in Dubai, there was another check again. So all passengers who were flying to India, again, you had to go through the same procedure. Self-declaration check, app check, and again, your details were noted. And then when we finally landed in Bangalore, immediately after we got off the flight, there was an official in place who sorted us out into 2 lines and who kept telling us maintain distance, 1.5 meters or 2 meters. So, and the next thing you know, we walk, I think, about 100 or 200 meters, and there's this entire setup in place with the thermal screening happening. So you can see on 2 big monitors that they are thermally monitoring the passengers who are coming in. And after this, there are again officials sitting with masks on who first check your temperature and then take your oxygen level reading. So both of these are noted down, and then you proceed further. And then your self-declaration form is collected, and people who come with the COVID negative certificate are asked to submit that as well. So the Indian government asks you to carry both in hard copy, ideally, which we did. And we submitted the hard copies there. We also always had a soft copy just in case we needed it again. What was very surprising, pleasantly surprising for me was right from getting off the plane and entering the airport, all the way even until immigration, at every 100 to 200 meters, let's say, there was a hand sanitizing station in place. The officials would also say sanitize. So there were a lot of, how do you say, protocols or checks and balances in place so that people follow the rules. Immigration was more or less the same. They ask you the same questions as always. Of course, they did ask us this time, why did you come down? Because it is a pandemic and you don't want to just fly down for tourism, right? Yeah. So again, after immigration, you again, all the way until baggage claim, you have a lot of different hand sanitizing stations all along the way. Even at the baggage carousel, you have the hand sanitizing stations at place. And just before you exit the airport, immediately after customs, there is again somebody sitting there. They check your passport. And then they asked us to quarantine at home for 7 days. So at this point, I think Bangalore was just asking everybody to quarantine at home, even if when you had a COVID negative certificate. So we did that first. We stayed at home for 7 days immediately after landing. And that was my experience landing in India. It was, I mean, for me personally, it was very interesting and very nice, especially when I was leaving from Frankfurt and I didn't see a lot in place.
Okay. So the second part now, what happened once you were in Bangalore? How was your quarantine experience? How were the citizens following the protocols, if there was a follow-up of any sort, etc.?
We stayed at home for 7 days, all of the 7 days that we were told to quarantine for. We were just at home, didn't go out anywhere. There was no official follow-up as such. I don't know if this is because we did not leave the house. Yeah. We always had the app switched on in our phones, and we did stay at home. I couldn't tell you if maybe it is a little different if you do leave the house. So I was in Bangalore for almost a month. One week of which, like I said, I was just at home. When I did go out, it was not very far away. It was mostly around where I stay. As I mentioned in my thread, I've only been to Malleshwaram, the 8th Cross market that you have, which is a big sabji mandi where everybody goes for their daily shopping, for groceries and or any other small needs that they have. And I did go to MG Road, Brigade Road, and Commercial Street, but that was as far out as I ventured in Bangalore. So everything that I state in my thread is regarding these places and when I was there. So one thing that really pleasantly surprised me again was that everybody had a mask on, right from the people who come and sweep our roads. And Bangalore actually has a lot of construction going on at the moment. Most of the roads are dug up and they are laying, I think, gas lines and stuff. And even a lot of these workers had masks on, which is, I mean, it's not something you expect. And even when I was when I was outside, when I visited any kind of store or a restaurant. The first thing that you notice is the moment you step in, there is a hand sanitizing station or like a bottle that you can operate with your foot most of the time. So contactless, I guess. So the next thing is that there is always somebody at the door. At least this was the case in bigger stores in MG Road, in Brigade Road, and Commercial Street. There was, I think, a security guard or somebody in place who would check your temperature and then let you in. Some places even took down your contact details, how many people were with you, just in case, I guess, to do contact tracing in case they had any cases of positivity in their shop or in their store. And this I noticed even in Malleshwaram 8th Cross Market. So Malleshwaram 8th Cross Market is a sabji mandi, right? You have roadside street vendors and you have really tiny shops which sell like blouse pieces and sari skirts and stuff like that. But even these small shops had hand sanitizers in place. Everybody there had a mask on, and they insisted on you having a mask on when you enter the shop. And this I mentioned in my thread as well. The only place I saw that the mask wearing wasn't so good is 8th Cross, Malleshwaram 8th Cross Market. The street side vendors don't necessarily wear a mask. The ones who do just have it around their necks. I guess it's because police keeps coming, because you do see police patrolling again and again, and whenever they see the police car coming, they do pull the mask up. So that is a little shoddy, yes, has to be said. But otherwise, I think by and large, even in for example, there were a lot of checks in place, hand sanitizing stations everywhere. Everyone had a mask on. So the reason why this is surprising to me, so I've lived in Germany all this time through the pandemic, and Germany had been in lockdown since March of 2020 and all the way through until June. And in June, they slowly started to open the country, the shops, the restaurants slowly started opening out, and they were completely open in summer, closing down again in November because the cases started increasing. So what was very strange for me here was, there is no mandatory mask wearing. So there's no government rule saying that you have to wear a mask. It's kind of like an advisory that you wear a mask when you're in public transport, so trains, buses, stuff like that. Starting in November, they did start to tell us that when you're in the inner city, so when you're in the shopping district, for example, that you're advised to wear a mask there as well. So this has, I think, a little to do with Germany's history and also with their human rights, that you can't tell people or force people to make something mandatory to wear a mask. So one of the things that I found very surprising is, and this was in November before we left, they have a Black Friday weekend here. So they have huge sales going on. And in November, since they were starting to close up again slowly, all the shops had restrictions on the number of people who could come in. So there were a lot of people waiting outside on the roads or in the mall, not into the waiting to be led to the stores. And none of these people had a mask on. So if they were on the road, they would just have the mask in their hands or on their elbows or just around their necks. And when you contrast this to what's happening in India, where every single person is wearing a mask, I mean, it has to be said that even if this doesn't completely prevent COVID, or I'm not saying this is exactly why we are doing better, there has to be something said for precaution, for exercising precaution, and the fact that people are vigilant, they are taking this seriously. And it does help, right? When all of us wear a mask, it shows that we care about infecting others or even about getting infected ourselves.
I must ask you this. What was your motivation behind documenting and sharing this with the world?
No, it's actually because I do like to document what my experiences are, especially when something that is so positive. Right. Especially now when all you see around COVID only the negativity, right? You see so many people are dying. You see so many people are admitted in hospitals. The hospitals have reached capacity. You only see the negative part of it, and it sometimes feels like there is no end in sight. There is nothing good. There is no silver lining. One of the reasons I really wanted to put this out is because for me, this was a very, very positive experience. As an Indian, I was very proud. I was very happy that my fellow Indians, my fellow Bangaloreans really cared and were really being cautious. So that was the first reason that I wanted to put this out. And the second thing is, why not put a little bit of positivity out there? We read enough negative reports, but I have honestly not read a single positive report about the precautions being followed or the protocols in place for India itself. And I guess those were my two motivations when I put it out.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. The vaccination drive itself is spreading hope among people. So, congratulations once again, India. But we must remember that we have to still follow the protocols, stay safe, and stay healthy. Manasa, thank you for joining us on New India Junction and sharing your experience. Namaste.
Thank you very much.